Hello, and thank you for joining us here at Clay Center Now. I'm Lori Hubert, the Director of the Clay County Economic Development Group, and here with me today is our guest, Brendan Fitzemeyer. Thanks, Brendan, for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Brendan is the owner of BP Metal Customs. He won our local Young Entrepreneur Fair, and then that gave him the opportunity to attend the state entrepreneur competition. So we'll talk more about that a little bit later. So Brendan, I told everybody you're an entrepreneur. Could you tell us a little bit more about yourself?
Our family's been farming here for many generations, so I work on the farm quite a lot. We also do carpentry and everything. I'm not in a whole bunch of sports at the moment, but the senior year in high school is coming up soon, so we'll see what that brings.
So you have played sports in the past?
Mm-hmm. I played football my freshman, sophomore year, and then basketball freshman and junior year, and baseball all 3 years, and now next year I'll probably just end up playing baseball.
Yeah, yeah. So any other hobbies or?
No, just mostly just working and
working in sports.
Working in sports. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And do you have plans for school next year?
I'm probably only going to attend school about half the time, and then I'll go and do internship the rest of the time. So I'll go and work and enjoy my last year at high school.
Good, good. So what about the business itself, BP Metal Customs? How did you get started in that?
Well, the school here actually has a plasma cam, and I cut a couple things out of that in a shop class, and I really did enjoy it a lot. My mom posted pictures of them on Facebook, and a whole lot of people asked, how'd you get that, what'd you do, you know? So I just kind of got my wheels spinning in my head and told myself, wow, you need to buy one of these machines and start cutting them out yourself. There's a business for this. And well, I guess I ended up buying my own machine and buying all the other equipment and just started turning out orders.
Yeah. So you make some designs for people. How long ago did you start doing that?
Probably about 2 years now. And then the design part.
So just after your freshman year in high school?
Just after my freshman year in high school, yeah.
Okay. So then besides that, has your business changed or grown in any ways?
Yes, and yes. We've been kind of moving more towards the restoration of farm equipment and things like that. I still turn out a lot of signs, but I do enjoy making shop benches and other things like that out of metal, as well as restoring old farm equipment, just pretty much anything that needs fixing with metal. I can attempt at it, but yeah. I like doing that stuff a little bit better, a little bit more than the signs.
Yeah. Okay. So what kind of challenges have you faced in starting and growing this business?
Well, the first challenge was getting it all put together. That the machine came in a big old crate, and it did not have the most detailed directions, so I kind of winged it, put together wrong, took it back apart, put together again, a little bit wrong, just had to change a few things, and then I had some complications with the software downloading, and then I had some complications with getting the machine to actually work, and then setting up my plasma torch, had to getting that all rewired and things like that, so my machine can tell it to turn on, so I don't have to push the torch handle button. But so there was a lot of startup problems, but we overcame those, and now I'm pretty much an expert at the machine, so yeah. Anything that really goes wrong, I can fix it myself, or if I can't, I've got a pretty good group of people in Colorado from Plasma Cam and GoTorch that can answer the phone and help me out as much as they can.
Troubleshoot it over the phone with you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How about mentors? Have you had anybody that's helped you, besides them?
Yeah, I've had, my family is a great mentor for me. My dad and my grandpa, both my grandpas really, they push me a lot to do as much as I can, as much as I can at all times. My dad, he'll yell at me every morning, get up and go outside and do stuff, and Grandpa's, he'll just tell me to keep pushing and everything. So that's a good motivation and stuff. I've had the economic development group's been really good supporters of me, and they're always motivating me to do a lot better. And yeah, I'm pretty much all my family, and the church is also another big one that's helped, a lot of support there.
Good, good. What about FFA? Are you involved in that at all?
Yeah, I am in FFA. I'm not exactly always in all of the competitions and things like that. I'm not a huge, I'm not exactly always in the mix with it, but I like staying somewhat involved with it, but hopefully I'll be a little bit more involved this year as my senior year.
I know they have competitions for entrepreneurship and things like that too, so I didn't know whether this played into, some competitions that you could enter there as well.
Yeah, I just never really took that business class, which I wish I would have, but live and learn, so.
Yeah, that plays into the local Young Entrepreneur Fair that we had. Most of the people who entered that competition came from the ag business class that you were just mentioning, but you didn't. You did it outside of the class. Most of the people watching this show have never heard of our local Young Entrepreneur Fair. Could you tell a little bit about what was involved with that?
It was a really good experience. Well, you called me up to ask me to participate, and I was like, well, yeah, that'd be pretty nice. We got here, and we set up everything, and just it was judged. We had a business plan that we had to write out. Mine was probably about 3 pages long, and I'm sure you could make it, as long as it's needed. And it was really detailed. It kind of got my wheels spinning about, okay, this is what I need for my business to grow. This is what I need for the upcoming months, and this is what I have now, and this is where I want to be. And all that kind of played into that business plan, and then once we turned that business plan into you guys, it was judged and then given back to us with a score on it and everything. And then we set up a booth at the Common Ground is where it was, and also judged that, and then visitors, citizens of the town, everyone could walk through and check out the booths and everything like that. It was just a really fun experience. I think the town really enjoyed it, and hopefully you guys can continue to do that. And yeah,
we're planning on continuing to do it. So we did it in conjunction with Third Thursday in, I believe, March. And so there were a lot of people just downtown and came in to view it. There were awards. You won 2 awards. The entrepreneur, the first place winner, and then the People's Choice award as well. So did you have a lot of people visit you at your booths and visit about your business and what you were doing and everything?
Yeah, it really did. It was nice to meet a lot of new people and things like that. They always had many questions. Some of them repeated questions, but I loved to answer them. And I actually did get a few orders that night, and I got a lot of business cards handed out. It was a really good way to advertise my business, not just being there. And but yeah, it was just a really good deal for everyone.
Good. Do you think you'll enter again next year?
I'm hoping so. Yeah.
Good. Well, because you won at the local event, you then got the opportunity to attend the state event. What was your thoughts at the state event?
My thought, going into the state event, I didn't think, I'm not a big town guy. I'm, born in Clay Center, raised here, never left, and I'm not that comfortable with a lot of people around and anything like that. And kind of going into it, I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know, how many people were going to be there, things like that. And I was just really unprepared. I think, in my mind, I was. And all the other kids were very prepared. But it was a good experience. We went to K-State. I I'm not sure where it was. I don't quite remember.
I think it was in the Alumni
The
Center.
Alumni Center, that is right. Went into a big building, or went into the Alumni Center. We all had to take turns giving a 2-minute spill on why our business is, the best, pretty much, and why you should choose it for that, to be in the next round. And I went up there and gave my little 2-minute spill. I'm not exactly the best public speaker, but I tried, and unfortunately I didn't get picked for the next round, but partly I think if I was a little bit better prepared, I would have probably done a little better. I now know what to expect and stuff, but I guess, and then if I would have made it in the next round, you would have been able to give a 5-minute presentation, or a 4-minute presentation, I apologize, with slideshow, props, things like that, and then you have 2 minutes of questions, and the winner come home with a large amount of money, and that's pretty much about it.
Right. Well, I have to give you credit. I attended and watched the kids give their presentations. I have to give my hat off to any one of those because, you're getting up on stage in front of, there were probably more than 100 people in that room.
I'm guessing.
So it took a lot of guts just to get up there and say anything. And not everybody did. Not all the contestants did. There were some who were no-shows. But I did print off a list of some of the other types of businesses to give the viewers an idea of the competition. The winner was an aerial drone diagnostics for crops. Some other top vote getters was screen repair for smartphones, e-gaming contests, people who ran errands and did organizing. One developed a deer location device for bow hunters, a child's chair assembly like a puzzle, a chair that went together like a puzzle. Naturally raised hogs sold direct to customers, providing music at special events. There were a couple of different skincare products, apparel printing, headbands. One sold treats from around the world. One did pet sitting. One made a bread mix, photography, chocolate-covered nuts. One guy developed a grip for guitar picks. And there was a food truck that did waffles. And there were many others, but those were the ones that, got most of the votes and things like that. So wanted to just let everybody know that the kind of competition, and they were great. After the high school competition, they had the college competition. And viewing them all, we could hardly tell any difference between the high school and the college teams. They were all really good. So if there were other students, high school students, or interested in attending or participating in these kind of events, do you have any advice that you would give them?
Definitely be prepared. Definitely know what you're getting into, and definitely be prepared. Take time to do it. It's a good opportunity. And I hope you guys can get a little bit more out of our high school this year. I'll definitely try to help with that.
Yep, this last year was our first year for it, and so we didn't have very many to enter, but a lot of people, we get the joke that they don't know what entrepreneurship is except for a word that's hard to spell, so
Yeah.
So we thought if we got the word out a little bit more, what it is, that maybe a few more kids would get to enter for it. And
Yeah.
stuff, so. Well, I want to thank you for joining
no
us,
problem.
taking the time to be here. And thank you all for coming in and joining us here at Clay Center Now. We hope you have a great day.